for the last 18 months, Ketu was in Sagittarius and Rahu was in Gemini. And you know the troubles that everybody had. Oh, for the last 18 months, that's a year and a half. There was so much of destruction, so much of problems all over. And everyone was waiting, when will all this end? And now the time has come, 19th of September, or some say 23rd, because these energies, the poles of energies have got what is called a true node and a mean node. I follow the true node. So the true node is the 19th of September, and the mean node is the 23rd of September. However, before I move on to the good things that this transit is bringing, I would like to bring your awareness to what's happening right now with Ketu. Ketu is in the last degrees of Sagittarius, has not yet moved, will be moving only on the 19th of September, as I told you. But these last degrees of Sagittarius, and of course, when I say last, because Ketu is moving backwards. Ketu is moving backwards. Actually, it is in the first and second degree of Sagittarius. So it is the beginning of Sagittarius moving into Scorpio. So now this part where a planet moves between a fire sign and a water sign is called a Gandanta point. We have 3 such Gandanta points between the fire and the water signs. That is between Pisces and Aries, between Cancer and Leo, and between Scorpio and Sagittarius. But of all the 3, this particular Gandanta point between Sagittarius and Scorpio is the most challenging. This particular point and this area is the Mula Nakshatra. And Mula Nakshatra is the nakshatra of destruction, of pulling out from the roots. That's the symbol. Pulling everything out from the roots. All our past karmas, whatever is there, whatever has to be stripped, all that is being weeded out by Ketu. Also, this Mula Nakshatra is directly in line with what is called the Galactic center. The Galactic center is the center around which our entire solar system revolves. One is our planets revolving around the sun, and our entire solar system revolving around the Galactic center. Tremendous energies at this Galactic center. So the Mula Nakshatra is getting influenced by all those energies. So our difficulties have not yet ended. Okay. Now, where this Gandanta point is in your natal chart, that will tell you the kind of problems you're having. Suppose you are a Scorpio ascendant. Now, if you're a Scorpio ascendant, that means your Lagna, your rising sign is Scorpio, then you're gonna have lots of problems because it's the ascendant, the first house. It is yourself. So you will be having health issues yourself, your spouse will be having health issues, the home will be in a turmoil, your job situation will be hopeless, and you will actually be tearing out your hair. What's happening? When will all this end? So that's how powerful this Gandanta point is. But don't worry. Now, Ketu is doing this to us because there are 2 things that we could do. One is we will just give up and say, oh no, this is too much for me. I can't handle it. How much longer? How much longer? 1.5 years I've been struggling. I can't do it anymore. Or you can decide that no, this is learn. What is the lesson for me? is there something teaching me? What is this that I am learning from this particular situation? And then when you're ready to learn, it will be revealed to you and you will grow more stronger. That's what Ketu does. Ketu will make you, you know, uh, interact from the heart. Ketu will make you do things from the heart. It's pulling all the externals and taking you right to the core of your being. Okay. Now, if you have Scorpio right on the top of your chart, that is 10th house. Suppose Scorpio is in your 10th house. You will be having a lot of problems with your career. Your bosses will get onto you unnecessarily, deadlines to be met, can't do it, and the side home problems. So you don't know how to handle this situation. So for each one of us, it is challenging times. And I'm so grateful. See, this the Tribe Art and Soul, continuously they had so many meditation sessions, self-development sessions. Join these sessions. These sessions will help you to grow. These sessions will help you to face these challenges. I'm so grateful, really, to Tribe Art and Soul. They have gone so much out of their way to serve humanity. And please do take this opportunity to join these sessions. This is the only way that we can face the hurdles that Ketu is bringing in our lives. So now Ketu will then move into Scorpio. It will come to 29 degrees of Scorpio, but 29, 28, 27, they are still Gandanta points. Ketu is still struggling between the fire and the water energies. It hasn't yet got the potent energies to be able to then move and be in its power. But by 15th of November, don't worry, most of us will be able to heave a sigh of relief. Now, why is that? Because Rahu and Ketu, they are both moving to the houses of exaltation. Taurus is the house of exaltation for Rahu, and Scorpio is the house of exaltation for Ketu. So Rahu has desires, many wants, finance, and a good life. So it does very well in Taurus because that's what the second house is all about. Taurus is all about that. On the other hand, Ketu is in its element in Scorpio. Scorpio is the house of transformation. And Ketu, being the planet of transformation, is very happy in Scorpio. Let me just give you an idea about houses in case you don't know about it before I go further. Suppose you have Rahu sitting in your first house. Then automatically you will have Ketu in the opposite house, which is the 7th house. These two energies have to be always discussed together. We cannot just look at Rahu and not look at Ketu. The two of them combined together will give us the results. So if you have it in the first house, if you have Rahu in the first house, very good. Rahu will give you that lovely, big, boosting ego, leadership qualities. You'll always have the go-ahead, the initiative to do anything. But on the other hand, Ketu sitting in the 7th house will give you problems with marriage. You'll have problems with your spouse. So it's a combination of these two energies. So now let's look. Now, even though I'm giving you the forecast, I am just giving you a general forecast because we've got to see what are the planets sitting in your houses. I don't know what is the planet sitting in Taurus for you in your second house. I don't know what planet is sitting in your Scorpio sign. I don't know that. It will make an impact. It will make a difference. I don't know the dasha that you're going through. So depending, if you are going through a Rahu or Ketu dasha, the energies will be enhanced. Yes. So I don't know the dashas that you're going through. So I will just give you a general idea. Okay. So let's start with Aries. That means if you have your rising sign as Aries, that is your lagna or your ascendant as Aries, then Rahu is in your second house and Ketu will be in your eighth house. It has to be opposite. If Rahu is in the second, Ketu will be in the eighth. If Rahu is in the fourth, Ketu will be in the 10th. Yeah, they're always 180 degrees opposite from each other. So now, for Aries, Rahu has come in a very good house. It has come in the house of finance for you. So in the last 1.5 years, you had been working on a lot of projects, planning, and wanting to launch yourself. And now's the time you will get the benefit of whatever you have launched or planned. You will get the financial returns. With Rahu sitting there, your money will not just be from one source, but it will be from many sources. Because it's your money, it's your finance house, and you will feel good because that's the house of your self-esteem. Rahu will boost your self-esteem. If you were having very low self-esteem, with all the problems that we were facing, most people have become so disheartened. But if you're an Aries ascendant, Rahu is coming to give you that courage back again. Of course, for Aries, the Lord of Aries is Mars. So Aries have already have that drive and initiative. So that is why we need to be a little careful with Rahu here, that we should not have too much of an ego, and don't over invest. Don't try to speculate in investments, because Ketu is in the eighth house, and eighth house is investments. Ketu will not allow you. Ketu is the breaking planet. Invest, yes, but invest wisely. Don't be foolish. Otherwise, you will lose your money, because Ketu is sitting. As I told you, we can't just look at Rahu. Ketu's energies are there, opposite energies. So be cautious, be careful. Okay. We now move on. To Taurus. So if you're a Taurus ascendant, Rahu is sitting in your first house, and Ketu is sitting in your seventh house. Yes. So for Taurus, you have to be careful, because Ketu sitting in your seventh house is going to bring a lot of marital problems, relationship problems. So you need to know how to handle your relationships. Be careful at this time. Be careful. Be ready, with Rahu sitting there in your first house. You're full of ego. You're ready. No, I want it my way. Rahu in the first house is always me, 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 me. I should be like this. I want this, and it should be like this for me. Be careful. Don't let Rahu boost your ego to such an extent that your relationships will suffer. Be careful of that. Okay. So there's too much of energy. Rahu in your first house, too much of energy. And you need to know how to temper these energies down. So handle it with care. Be careful of your temper. Be careful of your temper. Yeah. Let's now move on to Gemini. That is Gemini. For the Geminis, Rahu is in the 12th house and Ketu is in the 6th house. Even here, you've got to be careful, because the 12th house is all about loss, all about energies. Yes, it's loss, it's energies. So these losses, Rahu is going to expand. So be careful of your money. Hold your money tight. Situations will come. Be careful. Be very cautious with your money, Geminis, because, of course, on the plus side, Rahu has gifts as well, because 12th house is to do with foreign travel. So all those who have been, planning to go abroad, students going abroad for studies, and all those, it will happen now. Yes, because Rahu is now going to be in the 12th house, and those who want to even go abroad to stay or for work, it's going to happen if you are a Gemini person. Okay, because 12th house is related with foreign travel, and also it's related with its enemies. 12th house is the house of enemies, so be careful of your enemies. There will be false allegations. Don't get upset. Yeah, this is part of life. These things happen. People will falsely accuse you of things. And also, what is happening, Ketu is in the 6th house. 6th house is your day-to-day activities. There will be problems in your day-to-day activities. Be careful of travel, short travel in the neighborhood. When you're traveling around, be a little careful, because Ketu is sitting there, and the 6th house is your day-to-day work. So there also, there will be problems with your day-to-day work. Ketu will cause that problem. I would advise people who are Gemini ascendant or Gemini moon also. You can either be the Lagna or you can have your moon in Gemini. Okay, both ways. I would advise you to say mantras to Goddess Durga or Goddess Kali to give you the strength. Yes, or you could say Hanuman Chalisa also. Yeah, but you will need some prayer. You will need some prayer to help you through this. So this change is good. Yes, for the general, the collective. For the collective, it's very good. I'll tell you why it's good for the collective energies. Because when we look back during the times when Rahu was in Taurus, look back at the times, we find that when Rahu was in Taurus, the smallpox vaccine was invented, and the penicillin drug, the antibiotic. So for the collective consciousness, I'm very sure either a vaccine will be developed for this particular problem that we are all facing, this virus, the COVID virus, and also we could also find the better cure, a cure for this. Yes, that's what Rahu will do for the collective. And Ketu, on the other hand, for the collective, is still going to continue with its spiritual purging. It's a spiritual house of transformation. So you're going to get another 18 months to work with your spirituality. But for our individuals, like for this Gemini ascendant, there's going to be difficulties. Let's now move on to Leo. For Leo ascendant or Leo moon, Rahu is going to be in your 10th house and Ketu in the 4th house. So Rahu in the 10th house is going to give you new opportunities for job. You're going to get a lot of new job opportunities, as well as whatever trouble you had with your bosses, that will be very smooth. You will focus totally on your career. You will do very well in your career. You will aspire to greater heights towards getting a promotion, yes, and to betterment of your career prospects for Leo. However, be careful of your home life, yes. Ketu is sitting in the 4th house. That is your home, your own health and your mother's health. You have to be careful of this at this time. Yes, pay attention, take timely medication or whatever is required. I know at times, when our focus is fully on our career, there is a tendency of neglecting our health. But be careful, Ketu is sitting in the 4th house. Your career is going to flourish. You're going to do very well on that front. Let's now move to Virgo. For Virgo ascendants and Virgo moon rising as well, it's not very auspicious because Rahu is sitting in the ninth house and Ketu is sitting in the third house. Rahu in the ninth house, when I say not very auspicious, because Rahu in the ninth house will start, giving you uh, doubts about your spiritual progress. Uh, there will be hurdles, obstacles. Yes, it will enhance spirituality. That is there. But then, there's so much of energy over there. You've got to be careful. Uh, like you don't know, should I do this? Should I do that? Because there's too much of energies in this ninth house. It's true. It's the house of Dharma. The ninth house is the house of Dharma. But you have to be a little careful. However, on the plus side, there is foreign travel because that's the ninth house, foreign connections, import export. It's foreign even for the 12th house. Where for the Gemini, where you had 12th house, import export, as well as for Virgo ascendants is. But the third house, Ketu in the third house, will cause a lot of delays in your projects. You will try to plan things, you will want to go ahead, you will, but it will cause problems in these, and it will cause mental restlessness because the third house is the house of Mercury. And Ketu there will cause a lot of mental anguish and mental tension. Yeah. So you need to be able to handle the Ketu energies in the third house. Let's now move on to Libra. Libra ascendant, Libra moon. For Libra ascendant, Rahu is sitting in the 8th house and Ketu in the 2nd house. Another difficult energy. Rahu sitting in the 8th house is transforming your life, and transformation is nothing but challenges coming. Okay, it's bringing transformation in the way you're handling your finances. You need to be careful of your investments that you make. It's bringing all that to the fore. Okay, in this, but Rahu in the 8th house. 8th house has also got to do with all hidden things, hidden agendas. So you have to be careful of some hidden illness, like illness that doctors also can't understand. That is what Rahu will do when it sits in the 8th house. It will cause kinds of problems for you. You'll go from doctor to doctor, and why am I having this kind of problem? Why am I having these aches and pains? And there's no solution for that. So Librans need to take care. Yes. Now, Ketu is sitting in the 2nd house. So there also you're going to face, but Librans, you have had a good time. Okay. All these past few years, you didn't have that much of difficulty. So now you've got to face that little difficulty. With Ketu in the 2nd house, finances will be tight. You'll have problems there. So, with Rahu sitting in the 8th house, there is a tendency for you to try and earn money by unethical means. Be careful of that. Don't do it. Yes, Rahu will make you try and do those things, try to get more money by unethical means. But refrain from that, because you will get into trouble. You will get into more trouble since Ketu is sitting in the 2nd house. Let's now move on to Scorpio. For Scorpios, ascendant or with the moon, the Rashi, Scorpio Rashi, it's sitting in the 7th house and Ketu is sitting in the 1st house. Ketu in the 1st house, even Scorpio, little bit of a problem. Ketu, first and foremost, Ketu sitting in the 1st house will give you health problems, low self-esteem. There'll be lots of problems. Rahu sitting in the 7th house, yes, it will bring lots of friends to you. You will pay attention to relationships. You will want relationships to be enhanced. All that will be there. There will be even um, chance of media, also media activities. But Ketu in your first house will cause health issues, and it will not allow you to move ahead. Yes. So Scorpio people also need to do remedies for Ketu. Yes. Um, Now, the next thing is Sagittarius. Yes, the next house. So now Sagittarians can heave a sigh of relief. Yes, for the last 1.5 year, Sagittarians were going through tough times. Yeah, but now you can heave a sigh of relief because Ketu is now moving in the 12th house and Rahu is moving in the 6th house. So 6th house, Rahu will enhance your projects. It will do very well for your day-to-day activities. Things will go very smoothly in your day-to-day life, and enemies will not trouble you anymore. You will be able to win over enemies. You will be able to shine at your workplace. You will get praises for whatever work you do. Everyone will recognize your work. Finally, you will be recognized for your work. And the 12th house, yes, for some, they will feel that the Ketu sitting in the 12th house will cause problems. But I personally feel if you have been on the spiritual path since the last 18 months, yes, because of the difficult times that you were going through, if you were doing a regular practice, you are going to get the spiritual rewards. With Ketu sitting in your 12th house, you are going to reach a certain spiritual level that you're going to be very pleased with. Yes, because that is what Ketu is bringing into your life. There's going to be spiritual progress in the next 18 months for you. Um, let's now talk about Capricorn. So with Capricorn, Rahu is in the 5th house and Ketu is in the 2nd house, the 11th house. Ketu is in the 11th house. 11th house is the Bhagyastan. Yes, the main house of our wishes, our desires. And Ketu sitting there will not allow you to achieve your desires and your dreams. For Capricorn as well, it's a little difficult time. Yes, whether you are Capricorn ascendant or Capricorn moon. In the 5th house, yes, Rahu will enhance your creativity. You will get all that. Your children will do very well. There, if at all your children are going through that marriage dasha of theirs, it's possible that children will get married at this time. It's good for your children, good for your creativity, and for media, social, for you to shine in the media, that will be fine. However, you will need hard work because Ketu sitting in the 11th house will make you work very hard to achieve that dream that you have. But have patience, don't worry. Ketu will move out in 18 months. Ketu will come to teach you something. Ketu is enhancing your creativity. Not Ketu, but Rahu is enhancing your creativity. Pay attention to that at this time in the next 18 months. For Aquarius ascendant or Aquarius moon, Rahu is sitting in the 4th house and Ketu in the 10th house. Rahu in the 10th house will bring you money from real estate. In case you had invested in real estate, now will be the time in the next, of course, I told you not from up to, let it remain up to say end of November by the time they are in their power. From that time until April 2022. Yes, this transit is going to last till April 2022. So real estate, you will get money from real estate. If you want to buy a new house, Rahu will get you that new house. You will be able to shift your house. All that will be there because that is what the 4th house is all about. However, your 10th house, because Ketu is sitting there, will be a little struggle, but a struggle to make you better. Yes, Ketu is polishing your skills, making you a better worker, making you better at your career. Ketu will show you the areas where you need to improve. So don't be too worried about that. Yes, you need to lead a disciplined life. Yes, Aquarians need to lead a very disciplined life because of Ketu sitting in the 11th, the 10th house. The 10th house, yes. Now we come to the last sign, which is the Pisces sign. Now the Pisceans, or with your moon in Pisces, yes, you have Rahu in your 3rd house and Ketu in the 9th house. It's a good time for you, not as bad as the others, because now Rahu is going to bring new ideas. You're going to get a lot of innovative ideas to implement projects, to implement something new, because that's the 3rd house. Rahu is going to bring a lot of communication. You may think of writing a blog, starting a blog, or write a book also maybe, because Rahu is sitting in the 3rd house of communication and the 3rd house of projects. And Rahu will help you to implement that project of yours. So work on that. You will not get this opportunity again. See, the next time now Rahu will sit here in your 3rd house, Pisceans. Rahu will sit in your 3rd house up till April 2022. That is for the next 18 months. And it will come back here again only 18 years later. Okay, so make the best opportunity of this time. Don't lose it. And the 9th house, Ketu sitting in the 9th house, will take you on pilgrimages. After all, it's spirituality. It's the Dharma house. Ketu sitting there will draw you towards spirituality. You'll spend time in spiritual, all things spiritual. I know we had just up to 5:30. I don't know if there are any questions. Let me just check. It was very difficult for me to check your questions. Okay, Ayushmi. Let me see this, yeah? My name is Ayushmi, a first-year medical student. Just want to know that is there any chance in future that I and my ex get back in relationship again? Okay, now, Ayushmi, this is just a general question, Ayushmi. I don't know where your Rahu is sitting, and I don't know where your Ketu is sitting, because I don't know your ascendant. It's very difficult for me to answer that question. You'll need to take a one-on-one session, yes? I think they have put a link, yes? So it is a very personal related question. I need to look at your entire chart, or this kind of a question that you're asking could also be resolved by a tarot card reading. So not like this, yeah? This is difficult. How to know our Rahu, where he is sitting position? Very good question, Amit. Yes, Amit, thank you for asking me this. Look, Amit, what you need to do is, you know those good old days when I first started with astrology, I had to sit with ephemeris books and I had to do calculations. Today, thanks to the digital world, we have websites. We have websites where you can get a free natal chart. Go to AstroWed, the website AstroWed, or AstroSage. Yes, these are Vedic astrology websites. You need to go in Google. If you type free natal chart Vedic astrology, you will be taken to a website where they will give you a free chart. You will get your natal chart. In that natal chart, you will know which is your ascendant. You will know in which house Ketu is sitting. That chart will give you an idea of everything, yes? Of course, somebody has given me, Preeti, you have given me your date of birth, my dear, but it is very difficult for me in this session. We have already overstepped the time. I will not be able to. What you need to do is, with these details, you need to go onto an online Vedic astrology website. Don't go to the Western. There's a difference between Western and Vedic. Vedic astrology is the position of the planets as it is now, right now. Western is the mean position. So, Priti, you need to put in these details in that website to give you those details. I can't give you this answer now, my dear. Are the signs discussed sun signs or moon signs? Yes, Mita. Mita, it is ascendant or the moon, not sun. Ascendant is the rising, the sign which is first. Yes, that is your first house. So if your first house is Sagittarius, that means you're a Sagittarius ascendant, Sagittarius Lagna. Or if your moon is in Sagittarius, that is the reading that I gave you, not the sun, not the sun sign. Now, how will be my health in the next 18 months? Okay, so Piscean, the Piscean ascendant, I told you that Rahu is going to the 3rd house, Ketu is going to the 9th house. So don't worry, your health will improve. Definitely your health will improve. Yes, because the 9th house, Ketu, will not cause health problems as such, but the 9th house, Ketu, will help you to turn to spirituality. You know, if you get the opportunity after the lockdown, go to a place of pilgrimage, visit a place of pilgrimage. Down south, you have lovely, beautiful temples. Of course, if you can't go down south, anywhere in Maharashtra, visit a place of pilgrimage. It will make a very big difference in your life. Yes, Piscean ascendant. So thank you very much. Thank you very much, all of you, for being with me this evening. I hope you found it helpful. Any personal questions? Yes, if you have any personal questions, then you need to book a personal session. I think in the chat, they have given you the link to the Tribe Art and Soul website. Yes, where you can book these sessions. Bye. Thank you.